During this time, do you know all the events that happened in Oklahoma City?
What events?
Like criminal cases, maybe?
I don't know about any of that. I answered honestly. Sherlie smiled. I didn't know what her question meant to me. But I remembered about Alan's notes, when Sherlie asked Alan about criminal cases. Sherlie also mentioned a murder in Oklahoma. Was she referring to the same case? This means that the Sherlie in front of me is the same as Sherlie who called Alan. Because their words are identical. But why do I still feel like something is off? Sherlie, have you lived here long?
Why would you ask that? Of course, I've lived here for a long time.
Really? In my opinion, it doesn't make sense. When I first came to this house, I saw that there were some things that hadn't been organized. And just now, I saw that a lot of things had been repacked. My guess is that Sherlie and her mother have just moved in. Maybe a few months. And it looks like they'll be moving to another place.
Is there anything strange about this house?
I just shook my head, indicating that there was nothing strange.
Alan, tell us about yourself.
I raised an eyebrow. I didn't expect her mother to ask me such a question. I'm just an ordinary young man. There's nothing special about me. The question made the atmosphere uncomfortable. I tried to break the ice by starting another conversation that seemed casual. I also didn't ask Sherlie anything too personal. Her mother got up and left us. I started to feel calm after she left. I felt that her mother was suspicious of me. My instincts seemed to be threatened if she came near me. I started making small talk. The cake is delicious. Are you good at making cakes? I said as I ate the bland cake. Again and again. I said to myself, "What is this cake?"
You're too complimentary. Actually, I'm just learning how to make cakes.
Shit. No wonder. Oh my god. I immediately grabbed another cup of tea, to get rid of the musty taste that was attacking my tongue again.
Alan, what's your hobby?
My hobby is raising animals. That was the only thing that came to my mind at the moment.
You're just like a farmer.
I replied to myself. I'm a breeder. Sherlie is so friendly sometimes. I started to feel comfortable chatting with her. I forgot about Mr. Kim. Maybe he's messaged my cell phone a few times already. I purposely changed my phone profile to silent mode. My goal was to prevent Sherlie from trying to ask for my real cell phone number, because if she knew my cell phone number was active, she would definitely ask for the one I was currently using. And that was very risky for me. I pretended that I wanted to borrow her toilet again, so that I could just reply to Mr. Kim's message to me. Sherlie allowed it. I immediately rushed to the restroom. As it turned out, I found Sherlie's mom packing things and piling them up in a room. I'm even more convinced now that they're going to leave this house.
Are you done with your business? I'm circling the street looking around. If you're done, I'll pick you up.
I replied. I'm done, let's go home now. Just a few seconds later, Mr. Kim replied to my message. I quickly exited the restroom and went back to where I was. I saw Sherlie and her mom talking about something that I couldn't hear clearly. They looked surprised when they saw me coming and immediately stopped their conversation. I sat down and put on my jacket that I had taken off when I went to the toilet.
Where are you going? Are you going home?
My brother will pick me up. I'm going home. If there's time I'll come back. Sherlie was starting to frown. This is probably the last time I'll be here. I was already sure that this girl was Sherlie who was calling Alan. And I concluded, if Sherlie was just playing Alan. I don't know what her real purpose is for calling Alan. I thought, it was no longer my business to see Sherlie. After all, she was moving out. My adventure to find Sherlie ended here. A car horn sounded outside Sherlie's house, indicating that Mr. Kim had arrived. I quickly excused myself and stepped out of the house. "Thank you, Sherlie, for the meal, I'm going home," I said to Sherlie, who escorted me to the front of her house.
Is that your brother? Apparently, he's not the guy who brought you here yesterday.
I have 2 brothers.
Alright, see you later, Alan.
She said as she waved goodbye. I went to the car, opened the door and got in. Mr. Kim was already greeting me with his big smile.
Did your date go well?
I didn't have a date with her. A little annoyed that Mr. Kim was teasing me.
I'm reminded of my younger days.
We drove away from Sherlie's house and headed back to Mr. Kim's house in Badersville. The roads this time were quite deserted, the afternoon sun shining directly on me.
I was visiting my old friend in this area. Next week, I have an appointment to see her again. Do you have plans to visit your girl again?
I thought for a moment. I don't think so, Mr. Kim. I had no intention of continuing my meeting with Sherlie, considering there was no chemistry between us.
Really? Did you and her have a fight?
Apparently, Mr. Kim is the same as Mr. Brian. They both like to tease me. I won't answer his question.
In the past, I often passed this area, because my friend also lives in this area. As I recall, houses in this area are rarely occupied.
I was a bit surprised to hear that. Really? Did someone move into the house in 2004? Sherlie said that she had lived in that house for a long time.
2004? That was a long time ago. It seems that in 2004, that house was also still empty. You can see that there are no other houses adjacent to it. But I could be wrong.
After all, Sherlie called Alan in 2004. Could Mr. Kim be wrong? Or maybe, Sherlie is hiding something. Mr. Kim, can I use the internet facilities available at the university?
If you want, you can use the computer in my room. I'll move it to your room, just use it. It's connected to the university's LAN. I rarely use it. I use the portable computer more often.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. Mr. Kim was indeed very kind. Maybe it was his closeness to Mr. Brian that made him kind to me too.
Use it for study purposes.
Yes, Mr. Kim, I said with a nod. While looking at the view of Oklahoma from behind the windshield, I thought that Alan would wonder like me about Sherlie's purpose for calling him. No definite answer came out of Sherlie's mouth. Just a cliched answer. Even though I managed to find her, I felt that there were still many things that needed to be revealed. Not just about Sherlie, but also about the man who threatened Alan when Sherlie called him. The car Mr. Kim was driving now entered the university compound and went straight into the garage. Mr. Kim got out and opened the trunk of the car. I helped him carry some of the groceries and snacks he bought from the trunk of the car. That's a lot of groceries you bought.
Every time I go to the kitchen to get cookies and snacks, all I find are empty jars.
I fell silent, didn't answer. Even though Mr. Kim knew I ate the food, he never reprimanded me. I felt lucky. Mr. Kim is the only boy in his family. He has one younger sister in Korea. Perhaps I was already considered as his own brother.
Eat first, then help me move the computer to your room.
Yes, I took a sandwich and ate it. Then I went to Mr. Kim's room. His room was neatly organized. There were tons of scientific books arranged on the shelves. Many award certificates were displayed in a glass cabinet. Mr. Kim, do you like golf?
I don't like physical exercise.
So the golf equipment I found in the warehouse didn't belong to Mr. Kim.
Come on, help me move the computer.
I carefully moved Mr. Kim's computer to my room and arranged it on the study table that was already there when I moved in.
Use the computer. The internet is connected.
Thank you. With the internet facility that Mr. Kim had given me, it was easier for me to find information about Sherlie. All I had to do was match the information Sherlie had mentioned in Alan's note with what had actually happened. I started to turn on the computer, which I thought was pretty good for a personal computer. I logged in as a guest and started surfing the internet with the password Mr. Kim gave me. I would start idly searching with the keywords, 2004 Oklahoma strangulation news, on the Google search engine. After waiting for a while, the result was that there was no news that accurately pointed to the 2004 kidnapping case. There is no way that the case would have gone unnoticed by the authorities. This meant that what Sherlie said was true. She wasn't being held captive. But, why did I feel something was off? I changed the search keywords, and started reading one by one the news that the search engine directed to me. The result was that I still didn't find any clues, after 30 minutes of searching through the internet. I only found some inaccurate news. Finally, I changed the keywords to murder in Oklahoma in 2004. But the result was still nil. Many questions arose in my head at this time, and I was dragged further into the mystery.